Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be doing some altered photography and lettering by hand. So I'm starting on my altered journal, which is a photo book full of these amazing portraits. I'm just whitening out the background using gesso. I just wanted a really quite plain page in this book for this session. I didn't want to do a really, busy background. So by painting out the back, it sort of blends it away. I'm going to be writing quotes over the back of it, so I don't really care if I can see a little bit of the rest of the photo, but it just sort of gives a bit of a focal point to the page. Then you can see with pencil, I have outlined, sort of extended down his arms and made the jacket. And then I'm just going crazy with washi tape. So I'm placing the washi tape over, and with a sharp craft knife, but not pressing very hard, I'm just cutting away the excess and creating the shapes I actually need. It's something I've been a bit loath to do in books before, but actually once you do it once, it's not quite as scary as you think it's going to be. And the great thing about washi tape is it is quite translucent, especially close up. So you can see where you're actually cutting, which is really, really handy. But I would suggest having a nice sharp blade and just not pressing very hard. I was living a bit dangerously. I didn't have a cutting mat underneath. The pages in this book are not particularly thick and it didn't go through. So I suppose it just depends on what sort of paper you're using. So once I've done his jacket, I'm then going to do the lapels of his jacket. And again, I'm sort of just choosing a bit of a contrasting color. I don't tend to use my washi tape very much, so this is actually a really good chance for me to use them and see what I've got in my stash, which is rather a lot. And it's a really quick, easy way to make a fun patterned piece of clothing on a character. Obviously, I'm doing this on a sort of an altered portrait, but you could use it on anything or create your own outfits using washi tape. To finish it off and to put some bit of line work back in again, I'm just going over with a thicker Posca paint pen. So sorry, got distracted. So I'm just drying it off. So this is a thick Posca pen. I'm using Posca pens to put in other details. So extending the tie, putting in, again, some more black lines, putting in the, I was going to say purple, turquoise polka dots on his tie as well. Just trying to make it look a little bit interesting. I'm then going in with a paler, creamy coloured Posca paint pen just to put some color on his face. So again, the good thing about this is if you put it on really lightly, it is still quite translucent. So you actually get some of the shadowing through and some of the gray tones coming through. There's actually a really cheeky way of pretend colouring in a picture, and it sort of reminds me of those old tinted photos I used to have. So he's got some crazy eyelashes. I've put in the blue in his eyes. Obviously he's got this amazing blue hair as well and eyebrows, and the very pink rosy cheeks. I always find when I'm doing things like this, just outlining the bits and pieces really helps. It kind of makes them more animated, and it makes everything stand out a little bit too. So I knew when I had this that he needed to have a little hat. Luckily, it's one of the hats from my collaboration with Collage Soup. I had a whole heap of different hats in there, and it just matches beautifully with the color scheme. Pinks and oranges together are pretty funky color scheme when you get to it. So now I'm going in and doing my quote. So the first thing I do when I write a quote is to write it out in just normal text, and sort of spread it out as far as I need to. I also tend to write in my paint pen straight away, which people go, well, what happens if you make a mistake? Usually I'm working on top of acrylic paint. The majority, well, actually no, around the photo has got gesso on it, which is acrylic paint. the top of the page didn't, so if I made a mistake up there, I would have had to paint over it. But usually if you've got a sealed background, you can just use a wet wipe and wipe it away. I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to using pencils, so that's why I find using paint pen easier. Using a pencil underneath is fine. Obviously, if I'm using something like a yellow or an orange like this, you just need to be aware you may see it underneath where you're drawing over. So I'm just thickening up all my letters so it looks like it barely fits in, and you've been very clever to work out the spacing and actually have it fit in. And it's a really great way to sort of fill in a background, I've found. So I do love myself a good Billy Joel quote. Once I finish that, then I'm going in with a cool grey alcohol marker and doing a drop shadow. This is something I've started to do recently, and I've just found that because the alcohol markers are translucent, it gives a really true shadow effect. And it gives a really 3D effect. It really does push the text off the page. So now I'm going in with my black marker and again doing this thinner line exactly where I put the shadow. And again, you can sort of see how this is really starting to make the font pop off the page. So I could have left it just with doing the orange letters, but by adding these little extra bits, it really does help finish off the piece. I then, because you cannot leave it like that because it's me, going in and putting a highlight on with the white pen as well. And again, all using Posca pens apart from the grey, which was an alcohol ink. So here is a close-up, and you can see that lettering and how it pops off the page. It's a really, really simple technique to have once you've got it down pat, not down track. It's, once you've got that muscle memory for it, it's fairly easy to replicate. So I hope this inspires you to get your hand lettering on your page. Until next time, bye for now.